Hey everyone, this is Mike and today we are back talking a little bit more about Blue Mage, because last week I finally got my Blue Mage to level 70. It took a little while to get around to it, but the leveling process itself is really quickly if you have your Blue Mage at level 50 already, because 50 to 60 is fast, 60 to 70 is even faster, but finally got around to doing it. And then over the last few days I have just casually been trying to get some of the new skills here or there, because right now the way that you can obtain your skills is actually a whole lot more fun to me personally than it was before, and that is because Blue Mage is finally starting to go into the direction that they first kind of announced Blue Mage to be, which was a solo job. When they first announced Blue Mage, they were like, look, Blue Mage can't go into Duty Finder, it is way too strong, it is going to be a limited job, and it is kind of like a solo job as well. But in the end, Blue Mage wasn't really like that, because if you wanted to get skills from dungeons, trials, raids, that kind of stuff, you will always need a party to do that. And right now at level 70, whilst for trials and raids that is still the case, when it comes down to dungeons and then your normal open world mobs, those definitely can be obtained solo, as you can see from the background gameplay as well. And it is because of some of the changes that they have made over the patches to Blue Mage itself, which at the moment makes it actually a very enjoyable experience to go after all of those skills. Now when it comes down to the endgame of Blue Mage, that is still very much the same. They expanded on the Masked Carnival a tiny bit, there's only like one new fight in there. And then we also have the Stormblood Raids achievements that we can get now as well, although this time around there is no mount attached to it, it's only a title. But still, sometimes the journey is part of the experience and not necessarily the destination, so just obtaining all of the skills is part of the fun of Blue Mage, and right now it is much better. Allow me to explain. So back at level 50, Blue Mage wasn't really all that fun to me. I played it day one quite a bit, got it to level 50, then went and grabbed some skills here or there from the open world mobs, from the dungeons with my friends, and then in the evening we also did some trials in order to get some of those cool skills from Garuda, Ifrit, Titan, those kind of things. But after we did Garuda, it took us over 50 kills for us to get our spell, unfortunately enough, and at that point I was like, well, I am not gonna go and grind those trials however many times it takes to get the skills again, because I've already farmed them a bunch of times to get the mount a few years ago, and of course didn't want to grind another 50 kills of each primal in order to just get a Blue Mage skill out of it. So didn't really enjoy Blue Mage at 50 that much, also just did not play it much at all. Going into level 60, they made the amazing change that as long as you are synced to the content, you will get a 100% drop rate. And this also means that you don't necessarily need a full party of Blue Mages either. Like for example, yesterday I went into Party Finder, we got our skill for Suzaku. Unfortunately enough, some people ended up dying, so some people in the group that stayed behind decided to switch to a normal job to make things a little bit easier on the tanking aspect of the boss. And that made it so that we could still get our 100% drop rate on the skill because we were still synced. So really great change over there. And now into level 70 we again got access to a new skill, Basic Instinct, which will give you increased movement speed, boost your healing and damage output by 100%, and also ignore the damage penalty that Mighty Guard has. Now if you don't know what Mighty Guard is, this is basically the Blue Mage's tank stance, but it still works like the tank stances of old, where it reduces your damage taken, but also reduces your damage dealt. Now this damage dealt penalty is ignored when you're using Basic Instinct, but the caveat of this ability is that you can only use it when you are inside of content that is designed for 2 or more players, whilst you are being alone. So this is basically the solo skill that makes Blue Mage able to solo those dungeons again, as you can see in the background. So this is actually a really cool addition to it, because now I don't need to go and ask my friends if they can help me run through this dungeon. I don't need to go onto Party Finder for however long to find people to run a dungeon just to get a skill. I can just go into the dungeon myself and solo it. I am someone that has always enjoyed trying to solo content as well, so this is basically right up my alley, and I can just take it at my own pace. Whenever I feel like trying to grab a skill, when I have like 20 minutes lying around or something like that, I can just go into a dungeon, see if I can get one of the skills over there, and then just call it a day. Or I can just go for a few more, of course. And also some dungeons can be a little bit trickier to solo than others, so it can feel quite satisfying to get them in this way as well, and it definitely makes you look at the dungeons in a different way as well. So I've been having a great time trying to get these new skills available to me. Of course, when it comes down to the raid ones and the trial ones, those I'll still need to go and grab into Party Finder, but I don't think it's that bad, because of course I can already get half of the skills that are coming from the dungeons all by myself, and I have been having a great time trying to get them in that way as well, seeing if I can solo all of those dungeons. Once this video is done rendering, I'm probably gonna try and get the one from the burn, which I've heard is quite a challenge to get in a party already. I know you can solo it, so I'm definitely going to try and do that. So hopefully that all ends up going quite well. But that's pretty much all I really had to say. If you have been neglecting Blue Mage ever since you got it to level 50 because acquiring skills wasn't fun, leveling took quite a while. Leveling right now takes no time at all. I made a video a few days ago on how to get it from 60 to 70 in about 20 minutes, so it goes really quickly. And then of course acquiring the skills themselves is a lot easier now as well, because as long as you are synced, you are guaranteed to get the skill. And not only that, there is now an undersized party level sync option as well that allows you to go into the dungeons by yourself whilst you are still synced, so you're still going to get that 100% drop rate on those skills as well. So definitely worth giving it a second look if you left your Blue Mage at 50 because you didn't enjoy Blue Mage when it came out. Anyways, that's all I had to say. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank my Patreons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one.